Hi everybody, welcome back to the Alvis Man and Faces podcast for your review of the 1-1 draw against Wolverhampton.
Well, drew, you know.
Oh, I was thinking there, I was like, would it win? What's he going to say? It's a Halloween special. Normally we're in fancy dress, but...
You've got your mask on.
I've been to work, so I didn't have time to paint my face on it or whatever you want us to do.
So he's given us a picnic blanket instead.
That was quite good, actually.
It was fucking terrible.
Good.
It was absolutely terrible.
I'm all wrapped up because I'm dying over here.
Are you still dying, like?
I'm just going to cough in
Everybody's
your direction.
everybody's ill.
Mate.
Poor Adam looks like he's came dressed as Arsene Wenger in his quilt just to try and keep that warm.
Right, so let's just dive through this one. So, where do we even start? So, obviously, the team was the same team that's...
Oh, enforced change. Share.
So, yeah,
Share was
injured, so it was Fernandez that came in. We learned about that not long after we'd done the preview of the podcast, the game, didn't we? I think it was the day after.
Yeah,
or maybe actually the
Was
night
it
we recorded.
two players were missing, wasn't it? Who was the other?
Fernandez and
Carroll.
Carroll.
Carroll was the other one, wasn't it? Yeah.
But one thing on Carroll, at least, listen, he's always going to get injured, but at least it's not the ankle that he's been out for a year.
The other one.
It's not his ankle or his hamstring or his calf or his...
No, what I mean is he was out
It's like operation.
he was out with an ankle injury for, was it a year or something?
Yeah.
Was his groin this time or something?
He's groin, yeah.
His groin.
What was the one where... Which part of his body did he hurt when he fell off the balcony?
Did he not break his foot or something as well?
I don't know. Was that his ankle?
Did he not fall
Was
off
it a stool?
It was a stool, wasn't it? He fell off a stool.
Pissed.
Didn't
Is that when he was
Was that
staying
what
at
it
Kevin
was,
Nolan's
stool? I
house?
thought it was something to do climbing across a balcony.
he? Nah, I think so.
That was when he was on lad's holiday, wasn't it?
Can't remember.
Oh, yeah, that rings a bell.
I think Carroll's been in every situation that you could
Pissed.
possibly imagine.
Yeah. It's probably...
He was in Shields of that night, did you see?
No, I didn't know.
He's at that...
Minchellers?
Red
New
Door
Bar.
thing.
Aye.
All right.
He was there on Saturday night.
That'll be shut in about a month.
Will be, aye.
Not to sound proper, like...
Underage drinking.
8 weeks done.
Don't know, just new one there. But yeah, right, so the game itself... we're off.
There's no one there, you know.
Aye, so we'll get on to attendance later on. So the game itself, first 45 minutes, we looked at Harry, didn't we?
Well, not if you read social media. Jesus Christ.
I'm at a loss. I am a little bit at a loss of what the hell's going on in there, like on social media. I'll come off again. I can't be coping with it, man. It's just absolute horseshit what I read. Like.
First off was alright.
It was fine.
I thought it was...
What was it, Barcelona?
It wasn't amazing, but we played all right.
We looked
We
threatening
played good, yeah.
at
We're
times.
creating stuff.
There was a passage of play
chances.
midway through the first half where we kept the ball for at least...
like nigh on everybody on the pitch was getting a touch.
Fantastic passing around. That was absolutely... I said, you know what it is, actually? Tell me when you've seen me play better than this. At home, I mean, I thought Chelsea away actually the first half were better, but anyway, at home that was the best we've played. Yeah. And I'm not saying just on Borussia. I mean, I'm going back a couple of years where I can't really see another performance where we've played that well. We looked absolutely solid at the back. They had fuck all going forward.
Yeah.
We were causing them the odd issue. Bearing in mind, I appreciate we're not the greatest going forward, but we're causing them some problems. We kept the ball well. We were organised. Absolutely no complaints whatsoever. Honestly, none.
I totally agree. I couldn't understand some of the things that I was reading after the game.
I'm at a loss as well.
I don't know whether it's people just look at the beginning of the second half and think, and then the rest of what happened before that goes out the window because of then the circumstances that we then come into after that. But
I still think it's the same old argument of it's Steve Bruce and it's not Rafa. They're still so pissed off that Rafa's not here. No matter what performance we give, it isn't good enough. Yeah. People were complaining when we were winning 1-0. You fucked.
There was, I couldn't see what was so bad about that first half performance that we haven't seen time and time again in the last few seasons under Rafa.
I didn't want
we
that
kept
first
the ball.
End.
We were defending.
It was one of those things. I'm not sure. It was one of you that I looked at, and I said, I don't want the ref to blow for half time, because we're completely battering.
It's because we're right on top, weren't we? Creating
being
chances and
Newcastle
stuff like
fans,
that.
You'd normally I can't wait for the referee blow this whistle, like. Yeah. But I was like, sorry, it's Brexit again.
Brexit election, MPs vote in favour. No, I agree. Right, a couple of things. Sorry, first of all, Fernandez for Shea. How fucking amazing was Fernandez?
Look, man, I've harped on about him for weeks and weeks and weeks.
But not left back, on left side. But On that, on that.
It doesn't matter what foot you've got. Legierne's right-footed and he plays the left side of centre defence.
He's not as silky as Lejeune Fernandez, but he's very.
No, but he's.
Very,
I thought he was fantastic.
Lascelles should be out and he should be in.
100%. 100%.
We've said this for God knows how long.
Though we wouldn't have got a goal if that was the case.
Forgot about that. We'll get on to that.
Well, like basically what you're saying, Lascelles should go up front.
Though he made the goal anyway, didn't he?
What a cross. But, going back to it, I thought, let's be a bit fair. Wolves have just been away from home, travelled. They're in our building. We should be at them. We should be. But there's so many times I've sat and said this and we'll never get anyone. And I thought, again, we'll look organised. The only thing that them had was this pathetic Shelby long ball thing they tried to do to my way I sit. Williams had Traore in his pocket. No problem.
Wouldn't go forward to kick it.
First half, Traore had like one or two chances and touches and stuff like that. He were nullified very, very well in the first half.
I will say I thought Almiron, which I know we're going to get onto him, he done some fantastic interceptions, like sort of like little blocks in the first half, especially where the lads about to shoot just got in there. Brilliant.
So I was saying that throughout the game. I was like, hey, look, it's Almiron again. He was just like literally out of nowhere, like popping up and stealing the ball.
The only thing I really want to touch on this is it seemed like Yedlin and Almiron were playing on top of each other at times. They were standing in the same spot and pointing for the ball in the same place where they wanted it. And I was like, you're cancelling each other out here.
I thought they were linking up very well and playing well together.
Because they're so
down
close
that side
to each other.
And I get what you're saying, but I think what then that allowed with them to do was one of them to then overlap and get beyond the other. Because what was happening was when Yedlin was pushing up, then Fernandez would drop across to the right hand side and move up with it,
that's
so that he could then push them
through.
If
another player's got the ball, they literally stood in the same spot. If a player passes the ball, either one of them could pick it up because we're that close to each other at times. If you look at the other side, Williams and Maximum, they look great on that side.
Yeah, but you don't see Maximum coming as deep and as far back as regularly as Almiron does, do you?
Well, I'll come on to it now. Actually, it's a bit early, but I don't think we're full backs do enough. I'm going to be honest here because I think you're all about scoring, like trying to get chances of goal. Playing three centre backs should allow our full backs to have a little bit more licence. I just don't see it. Williams, I counted twice. I think when he got past the halfway line, one he had a hell of a shot the second half. Don't get us wrong, and he scored. He's not really coming forward ever. And I just don't understand why. Why not?
I think the way that they set themselves up though, they did. So with our wide players being Almiron and St. Maximum and Yedlin and Willems, they were doubling up on both sides of our players as well, which I get what you're saying is, I mean, that meant that there was then space in behind, but when they're so closely marked by them players, does it give them that freedom to be able to do it, unless it's a ball over the top and then one of them running through onto it or something like that?
I don't know. I think if, you know, what Kris is saying about Almiron and Yedlin being so close together, for me, if Yedlin is forward is what he's saying, then Almiron for me can come inside. Come inside and take somebody away.
Well, that's what you'd expect them, but I could see Yedlin like on the halfway line and Almiron a few yards just ahead of him on the halfway line.
And that's something that I was going to talk about because, you know, again, Joe Linton's been coming in for all sorts of stick since Sunday, but yet again he's massively isolated up there on his front. And if exactly what you're saying there is if Almiron and St. Maximin just come in a little bit, get closer to him instead of just staying out there wide, that then gives him a little bit of a helping hand as well, and gives us more of an opportunity to be able to create something going forward rather than everything having to stay down the two wings.
Yeah, because honestly, when I watch it, I just think, I mean, Matty and Sean, unbelievable engines, and you know they'll keep the ball for you, but none of them's going to get the ball and dribble past a couple of players and really aggressively go forward. They're just very protecting, work hard for you, which is fine. I have no issues with that.
Matty's touch was fantastic when he took it out of
someone's head. It was brilliant.
I thought the what started that passing movement.
It was a few times he done that.
That time, I thought it's fine having them two there, but again, you've got three centre halves. You've then got them two in front. I really feel
at times they were right in front as well.
Right in front. Yeah. I feel we're full backs. Honestly, I feel they don't do enough going forward. Now, obviously, I'm going to say something again, you'll laugh, but I watched Liverpool afterwards, and I totally appreciate that one on Liverpool. You see their fullbacks though, man.
I know.
Their fullbacks, and then that means Salah and that really come inside and
Yeah.
support the front man, and then the fullbacks do the rest.
100%.
We just don't do that. It's not rocket science. It's not. Now,
Is it a case where we don't even attempt to do that? Obviously,
Well,
we don't have the quality.
What I will say, the second half, Yedlin for once got right up there, and it should have been a corner. Didn't get given. Joe Linton kicked off for about 10 minutes. It was a terrible decision.
Horrific.
But that's probably
horrific.
once in what? Twice in 90 minutes
That
where
was a
Yedlin's actually. It was a
decision.
terrible
And,
decision.
and it then led. That was what then
the
led
sending
to the sending off as well.
Yeah.
From
Pretty
there.
soon after, yeah.
So,
but sorry,
so first off, obviously we'll just go straight to the goal itself. So where Lascelles is, God knows why he's there. God
Well,
knows.
we'd had a corner just before, hadn't
that
we?
what it
And
was?
then we kind of got
just win it back.
pushed back, but then we won it back, and Fernandez went out wide, got the ball, and then kind of came up, and then just a lovely little ding.
Fantastic
ding
header.
ball into the box, wasn't
Fantastic
it?
cross, fantastic header. But that's where I'm wanting to see Joe Linton. In and around that area.
What's that noise? I need to ask what that noise is.
What is that noise?
I'll stop now. Sorry. It was just really jumping in. Sorry, apologise, sorry. Yes, now, when it went in, I thought it was Joe Linton.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest
so
with you.
did I.
I went, get in, it's Joe, like, in a bit of confidence. When he ran away, I went, oh, God, it's not him.
No, I was sitting there. I'm sure that's Fernandez.
Is that disappointing me?
Fernandez putting
God,
in
it's not him.
No, it was.
Lascelles.
Funny enough, I read the programme before the game, and Lascelles had said, listen, it's not just the forward players that need to, you know it again?
Chip in.
It's not just the forward players that need to chip in, it's everyone around the pitch, and you got to go. And I was like, you know what, it's bang on, like you've said that in your programme, or in the programme, sorry, and you've scored. Cracking header, cracking delivery. And a little bit of aggression from it, because you're right in what you say, we lost a corner or a free kick or whatever it was, and Lascelles was trotting back. But when he realised, actually, there's a chance this he decided to turn around and come back in.
And he knocked powered into the box as well. He
brilliant, man.
flew himself in there to get into that position.
If he gets a run on you, the size, he's a big lad himself.
He's,
You know, it was a great header. It was just what we deserved. Yeah, honestly, I touch on Saint for a second. I know a few people at work's actually being saying they think he's not very good. Honest to God, you can't win, but it's because Rafa's not here, man. It's just, it's all it is.
He looked
the second that goes through the door,
So
I
on
got collared straight away. 2 points drop was shite. He's shite. I was like, yeah, man. Where were you last year when we got beat off from 2-1? You weren't at my door when I fucking come in the door. Piss off.
on Sunday, Adam
True, though.
muttered the words to his lack of end product.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Can you believe he said that before me?
Oh.
Listen, if there's not many wingers in the world that aren't frustrating. There's not many.
You would probably say every single one of them.
Every single one of them's frustrating. And the reason, he
nah,
hasn't
but
got
like-
an end product is he's taken on 52 players. He's got one person named out in the box. That's why there's no fucking end
There
product.
was a couple of times
there
where
was
he
that-
managed with
he's-
that end
One he
right.
should have
He's-
shot.
he's
One he
shots.
should have shot.
But the shots that he did have, how weird.
Yeah.
But
Jesus Christ.
But he's running along and he's got two players
Oh,
in front of him.
hey.
Will that tend to beat? Let's have a go. What's the fucking point? There's no one to pass it. There's no way to
There's-
go. Why would you pass it when we're that shit?
There's no doubt if when he's got the ball and he's in flow, he looks great. The way he can beat players, run with it and stuff like that's fantastic. But that other than that goal that he scored in training, that absolute worldie.
He's only played fucking
like,
2 games, man.
But every shot that I've seen from him has been diabolical.
I bet he hasn't had many shots. I bet he's only had about 3.
You only had 3 in that game. Now I got blocked. Please carry on.
Trickle along the floor.
I've never seen that happen. They're all blocking. But he's a little bit more.
Well, you'd even shoot when there's 4 people standing in front of you. You would pass. You'd pass the ball instead.
He's just ran from fucking Shields with a ball. He's probably shut it. I know. He's probably had enough. He's
I'm
gassed.
not starting on him yet, but
Yeah,
I can
fucking
see.
better not.
I
You
can
better
see-
not. We're really going to fall out if you start.
I can see why those words were muttered.
Bollocks. Absolute bollocks.
It's funny how people are saying he's got no end product. Whenever I sat here and went, Almiron's got no end product. Every time he has a shot, it's one of the weakest shots you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's sticking up for Joe Linton left. Oh, it's a hard world. He's up front.
I'm not sticking up.
You were. I've just heard you, man. I've just heard you. Oh, he's getting loads of stick. He's shite, man. Just call what you see. He's shite. But
I
shite's a bit harsh.
I cannot
Sorry.
say that I've seen enough to say that he is shite because he's not.
But then we're
Getting it to be able to do anything.
Saying hasn't got an end product because we've seen even less of him.
Oh, God, I didn't know what I'm
I didn't say it.
But you were with him by the
Don't
sounds of it.
don't shoot the messenger.
You're with him by the sounds of it, mate.
So, going back to
I might have had that thought in my mind.
Saint reminds us of a slightly more better Gutierrez of what he does for it in
Okay.
regards to, well, another Kosh, give him the ball and he'll run 25 yards.
Gutierrez had a weak
I
shot.
don't know,
at
like
times
he,
as well.
he
Gutierrez
doesn't give you the
just a
going
run.
back stuff that Gutierrez gave you,
Maybe
did he?
doesn't,
But
maybe he doesn't. But fuck me, man. If we cannot
Over
afford
time.
one player that can just not defend, surely there's one player on the team.
solid 6
do you
over
think
time.
someone obviously Emil done his fan cams after the game, and someone compared him Ben Offa. What I've done said that
Jesus
going
Christ.
forward.
He thinks he's shite, man.
So going forward, he reminds you of Ben Offa without the shot.
There you go.
So because Ben Offa had a foot on him as well, like didn't he?
Well, he did, but I'm going to be honest here. From what I've seen him saying so far, he's in product right. All right, people might want to have a go at that, but I think he goes on runs almost constantly. Beats a man.
I used
to see Ben
It's
Offa
the
get
only
tackled.
thought he's got in his
So
mind.
many times.
Only thought he's
So
got in the
honestly.
mind when he picks that ball up is I'm going forward with it and
And what
running
is
with it.
I have no issue with that at all.
Oh, none.
None, you know, zero issues.
Do you know
The
what I
problem
would
you've
love?
got
But if
four
he
lads
the
gotta
only
be-
thing is if he continues to have those piss poor shots, that's when you'll get frustration from, because you started to see that with Joe Linton on Sunday as well,
Arguing with each other,
arguing
But that
with
was a
each other and
diabolical
stuff like
pass
that.
by-
And
by saying
yeah,
that.
like,
Like, shocking, and the fans started kicking over Jordan, man.
I have to disagree.
Shocking.
oh come on,
He leathered it, and it was
Right.
like the
Come
ball
on.
bent, started
It was-
bending away from him. He did like.
For 40 million quid, I'm expecting him to control that. Like,
Oh nah.
it was anywhere near
it
him.
went under his foot. Man. It went under his
Anywhere
foot.
near him.
It went under his foot. And the other thing as well is what Sam was saying: move your arse down the
Ah, he
channel.
was telling
Yeah,
him
yeah, that
He
was
won't. He won't run anywhere, man.
Even if he went
couldn't
in the
run
channel-
about
But to be fair, he wasn't
That ball
expecting
wasn't
it to
gonna
go
go.
there.
He
Nah,
couldn't run about.
he wasn't expecting it to go there,
I've
was he?
also
But
been reading recently that this Joe Linton
Well
is
done.
a left
key
forward.
stage 3.
He's a left forward.
Well, he is. That's where he
Left
played.
forward.
That's where he played all the
How,
time.
man? How? I'm telling you,
So
he's the slowest player in history. Him
where would you put him then?
bench.
I knew he was going to say that.
Come
Settle
on,
for it.
come on, come on. Think about it. Think about
He's
it.
definitely not a target man.
A left
Definitely not.
forward. He's got no pace at all.
No, he's not a winger. That's what you're thinking.
No,
he's not a winger.
He's a left forward. He's if a three.
So,
He's the left.
so the
from what I've been hearing.
who he was compared to is in his time over in Germany was Firmino. That type of role of getting the
best
ball,
stats he did
picking
have,
it up,
best
playing inside, and you could
Bobby Firmino.
if you put Bobby Firmino up front in our team
He'd look better than him.
and lump the ball up to him like we've been to Joe Linton,
He'd look better than him.
would he shite?
He'd look better than him.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Not a chance in
So
hell.
let's
Not a chance
skip
in hell.
Bonnie. What is it? Fucking
Bonnie
Bonnie.
lad.
Bonnie Firmino.
I'm going to tell you where I'm starting to lose it with Joe Linton, right? I will 100% sit here and say the service to him is very poor. I feel very sorry for him. He's up front on his own.
Sounds very sarcastic
No,
when you say
I
that.
feel
It does,
for him.
doesn't it?
No, I feel for him. Week after week after week. I've sat
I
here
can
and
feel
said,
that. You know the
service
the
that
truth
we're
in
giving
that.
is terrible. Things that I cannot abide by. He's 6'4" and he's softer than me. He doesn't run the channels at all.
No.
Doesn't
Give it up.
close anybody down. And he cannot win a header.
You
Now,
see-
Mitrovic-
I think he won nearly every
So-
round
so-
Sunday.
Bollocks.
He did,
Mitrovic
So I hate-
used to get slagged off
I hate
all the time for
hate
being
to
lazy.
bring roll this
I know what's
out.
going. I know what's going.
Rafa fact here. He's won more headers than Rondon did all
Crack on,
season.
Crack on. Crack on.
You just say he couldn't win a header?
He struggles to win headers from goal kicks.
He's won more headers than Rondon did all last season.
So do you
I
want him
don't
instead
think
of
it's
Rondon?
it's not
Do you
all
want him
this
instead of
season.
Rondon
It's
then?
at this point. It's at this
After
stage
fucking
last
8
season.
games.
So,
Let's do it over the season. He
I
can't.
think
The guy can't win a header, man.
Stats.
He can't win a header.
How many? He won plenty of headers on Sunday.
He did win a fair few on Sunday, like.
Well, I think
He's playing against. But again,
Does he work
he's
hard?
not. He's not a.
The only thing
he's
good at is
not a
complaining.
target man.
The only thing he's good at is complaining. He's fantastic at that.
Because he's frustrated.
Fantastic at complaining.
Frustrated.
Moaning on, bitching on. Loves it. Mitrovic, going back to Mitrovic, used to get shit constantly for moaning, for not working hard enough. It's exactly what I say out of him. I don't see any difference out of
But
this
that's
player.
exactly the same. It's the
But
same arguments that other people.
what service was Mitrovic getting that he wasn't? It's the same bars, man. Same direct shit. But and nobody said that about Mitrovic. Everyone just said he's not good enough.
The difference was Mitrovic was a target man. That was what his game was winning headers, and there's Joe Linton is not a target man, yet we're playing him like that. Have somebody playing off alongside of him, or bring Almiron and Saint Maximin in narrower to her, like a Liverpool do.
Well, went
that-
two
that
up top
we're-
against
that we're
Norwich.
just talking
It's
about.
The worst performance he's ever give. We did that. What, 3
But
centre
we went
midfield and 2 up
4.
front? We've done that, man. The guy, at the moment, and I'll stress that, at the moment, is not good enough. I still do not believe he works hard enough. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I don't believe he can come off the pitch and even be tired, to be honest with you.
In what way would you like to see him work harder when he's up there by himself?
If I was him, right, and I was up front on my own, right, and I've got 2 centre halves hanging off my shirt, the first thing I do is move. Oh, I'd lean on the weakest one. He doesn't do any of that. He just stands in the same place.
It's a bit hard when you've got 2 6'7" central defenders to lean on.
Why not move into the channels? They'll not come and follow you. But if they do, we're good luck to you. But let's get a bit of movement. If you're up front on your own, let's try and work the channels for a change. If you're this left forward, let's move a bit. No. He just stays in the middle. He kind of trap a bag of sand, man. He's just, honestly, he just really frustrates us because I do probably believe there is a player in there. I do. But it's not. He doesn't work the channels at all. And for a target man that is struggling to be up front on your own, well, let's move about then.
But why would you?
Let's turn and let's get a ball down the line or something instead.
But why work the channels when you've got 2 wide players that are meant to be in those positions anyways?
Because you're not doing anything up front on your own as a target man. If it's not working for you, why are you still continuing to stand there?
Well, he's obviously being told to go and play in that position and do that job, isn't he?
Under Rafa, a lot of people give Rafa credit by saying every player knows a job and they stay in that position. Has he been told that by Bruce? Has he been told you're the top man, you stay there, don't drift?
That's the only position he's played in.
Well, maybe he has, but I'm sorry. Like for me, he has to at least move.
So would you bring Carroll in?
He's dead. Fit? He's not fit, is he?
When he's fit?
So no, I wouldn't. No.
This is what the only answer is Dwight Gill.
I don't even. But
if you even less.
But if you and that's the thing. Yes, Dwight Gill when he came on, what did we continue to do?
Lump it up top.
Lump the ball up to him and expect him to try and out-jump the defenders.
But it was slightly different in terms of how we're trying to go forward on that one. Now I'll explain why. Them were balls over the top. Not balls at him.
Not at all.
Shelby tried that twice but didn't hit it far enough.
Nah, not at all.
We weren't just hitting it up to him.
We were. 100%. The amount of times that ball just went in, he was trying to jump up and flick it.
To get it over his head so he could actually turn and run at them. Obviously Joe kind of did that because he kind of run. So when Joe has them, it's literally to him all the time, and I get that. For Longstaff sending off, I still believe he should be controlling that ball.
I'll give you that.
So it's just, I don't know. And I feel like I've really bashed him there for about 15 minutes, right? But the question that I have for you both, right, is, all right, fair enough, right? The service is poor out of him, right? He's not getting enough crosses. I get all of that. But in 90 minutes, is he doing enough? Is he doing enough?
No, he's not. But I think that's down to a lot of the other players as well, not solely him. I don't think Almiron's doing enough for him. I don't think
we don't get
the ball. You know what he's like. He's just running to the goal.
We don't get close to him at all.
But there's loads of times when we're out wide him across, he's not even in the middle.
Yeah, I agree.
I counted 4 times that Yedlin got. Alright, the cross wasn't great, but even when Yedlin was attempting the cross, Joelin wasn't even there anyway. Yeah. So it's a fucking point anyway. I don't know.
And that's where that's where that link-up position play comes from for me. Is that he's hanging that little bit deeper because he wants the ball into his feet. So that he can get the ball into his feet and then he can turn and play somebody in and have runners going past him or have a pass out wide or something like that.
So you mentioned Dwight Gale there. The worrying thing is when Dwight Gale came on the pitch, not the game gone, the game before that, didn't even touch the ball.
He was only on injury time though. Yeah.
Didn't touch the ball.
Yeah.
But when he did come on, all we did was lump that ball up there and expect him to jump up and win a header.
Shelby was back on the pitch. You know what Shelby's like.
It was everybody. Everybody was doing it.
He came on for how long?
But why? This is what we need to do. Get the ball down on the floor and play it into the channels like you're saying. Allow them to spin in behind and get around that way, or put it into feet and then get up and support. The midfield is a million miles away from him as a striker. That's the centre midfield. That's your 2 wide players as well. We're too far away.
I understand that, but you kind of judge that when Gale come on. It's 1-1. We're down to 10 men. We're really hanging on. That's why there was such a divide, because we were thinking, fucking hell, we've just got to keep them out. And yes, we were just lashing it forward, hoping Gale would just chase something down, and who knows. You know, you can't really judge that not being close to your striker, do you know what I mean? On that instance.
If you go to the second half, obviously we came out and it's a complete different team. Different.
It is, yeah.
So,
they made the change and Terori went straight through the middle.
So there's a photo going round where their back line is literally on our halfway line.
Yeah.
And every single one of our players is sat in our half. That's frustrating to see that, like, when they're playing that high and there's Not even a player just sat waiting to hit them on a counter or anything like that.
Well, the thing that we set ourselves up to fail every time is every time them get a corner or a free kick, we don't have anybody up front.
Yeah.
So why the hell that is, I don't know. You got Almiron. What the hell is Almiron going to do from a corner? Get him up front. At least that's surely going to take 2 or 3 away. And if we do clear it, hopefully he's got the pace to try and at least put one of them off.
I mentioned Almiron, it was in the first half as well. Where we had the break.
Great chance, like.
So I think Almiron picks the ball up and he starts running.
Yeah, and you've got
Joe on his left.
You've got
Joe
Linton left, St Maximin and Yedlin on the right, isn't it?
And he passes way too early, doesn't he? He can't keep on running, and I think he picks the wrong pass.
It's not necessarily that he passes it too early, because there's nobody in front of him, so he passes it through. If it's a good enough pass, it's in front of Joe Linton as he's going in, then he's through and straight through one goal.
If it's a good enough pass, it's basically
it's just the wrong weight and stuff like that.
Arsene and Joe Linton.
He should have went the other way.
I felt it was a weird pass because the nearest defender was where he put the ball.
Yeah.
He tried to go to the right and drift in the right, rather than, and Joe's running through the middle, straight through, and he's through.
He could have carried it much further.
Yeah, he could have.
So that was just
or if he carries a little bit further, one of those two defenders has to try and tackle him,
of course.
So that leaves a couple of their players free.
And then we had the other chance where Sean Longstaff put a fabulous ball to Almiron. His first touch was a bit heavy, and then he sort of toe put it at the side.
That was the first half.
Chance.
I thought that was the moment.
He should have probably hit that with his first.
That he was scoring.
Well, no, I thought he had the ball came over and he took it all right.
Just lash it.
It was frustrating because I thought this was it.
I did, yeah. I even turned to him and went, I thought that was it, and I still can't see how he didn't.
Happened,
yeah.
Was that instance, yeah. And I don't want to bash him too much because I don't actually at all, because I think where I'm going to keep giving Almiron the credit for, and I could be wrong here because at the end of the day he's a striker or a winger, he should be assistant. He really puts a shift in.
I thought he had a fantastic game. First half was brilliant.
It was
played very well second half. Yet we came out and one of the lads that we met, he was like horrendous. He was absolutely shocking. Did nothing. I'm like, did you watch the same game that I watched?
Well, the lads on the fan camp
it's
said he was the worst player on the pitch. And I was recording going, what is going on here?
Oh, come on.
So it just goes to show you can sit and watch the same game, and if you've either taken a dislike to a player on the pitch, or you've got the opinion that they're not giving you enough, you'll see something completely different to the person sat next to you.
Well, honestly, I do not sit at the game. Joe Linton did one amazing thing in the first half. He turned and he played a ball outside of his foot out of the way. I was like, that was class. That was absolutely class.
Was that when he got the ball into his feet and was able to then do something with it?
No,
but that just backs up the point that I'm making.
There was one chance where it just stuck to his chest. He literally controlled it with his chest and just landed at his feet. But
I know what you're saying, but he's not going to be that prolific goal scorer that you can just lump the ball up to him, expect him to bring it down, be 3 players and put it in the top corner.
I haven't even talked about him scoring yet. I'm not even.
That
doesn't.
He needs help and support.
I'm not even mentioning him scoring a goal. I'm not even. People have put something on. He's played 10 games and had 6 shots at target, lowest strike in history. That doesn't bother. That's not what I'm bothered about. I'm bothered about that work rate, and I just don't feel it's there. I really don't. It doesn't close anyone down ever. Rondon used to be fair to Rondon for being a big lad, he used to chase people down, to try and hurry them up. He doesn't do any.
That comes with age and experience, though, doesn't it? As well, that's the other thing. That's what I mean.
I just feel he should be doing.
I think we'll see a different player at a different setup.
I do. If you've got somebody that plays, either you bring St Maximin and Almiron in closer to him, so that they're playing as more of a three, so that he can then bring that ball down or get it into his feet and then be able to turn and give it to somebody else to pass out, so that he can then turn and get on the go.
You're going to be sacrificing the likes of one of your defenders. Obviously, we've got 3 at the back and the 2 wing backs.
You don't even have to change your formation. You've just got to bring your 2 widers in that little bit narrower.
2 widers?
But 2 wider players in narrow. The difference is then if you're playing somebody that are playing 2 fullbacks that like to bomb on and they've got wide.
Which is every team these days. But every team does that, and I agree. Now, what I will say though is perhaps when you haven't got the ball, you go back to what we kind of see.
Yeah.
I appreciate they've got
yeah.
the but when we've got the ball, can they get more narrow, allowing your fullbacks to bomb on? I probably agree with that, and that's hence why I mentioned it.
I think the thing where we see the downfalls in the team now is the players coming off the bench can't change it a great deal other than Carroll, because they're all similar players. So the likes of Gail, Mutu, very similar players. Almiron, you could even stick that in the same little bracket. I think
that's who's just
we're struggling. Taking Joe Linton off, you're not going to bring someone in that isn't like the rest of them. No. So your options are exactly the same.
Well, there was at one point where we went in the second half and we played St Maximin up front.
Yeah.
That
was right. So that was because we're down to 10 men. Yeah. So going on to that one, obviously we had the debate against Hayden's, and I said Hayden's was a red. I'm struggling to see that with Longstaff's like.
Well, I was completely blocked where I sit. There was two. Who were playing again?
Wolves.
There was two Wolves players right in front of me where it was, and I couldn't see it. And when I seen it on the telly, I was like, the first reaction was absolutely bollocks. That's not a sending off. But again, going to the letter of the law.
And control and all that sort of shit.
He's high as hell.
It's an absolutely ridiculous law, though.
Oh,
it takes away the ability for you to tackle, to put in any sort.
That's me worried. There's no one complaining.
He knows he's off.
So that's why I think as well. Even the cells didn't even go.
But it's not like, and we talked about this on Sunday as well. Not long before that happened, one of their players went sliding across the pitch, studs up, straight in towards Almiron, out on the touchline, and Almiron jumped out of the way of it, and they just went sliding past. That is a dangerous tackle. The difference is he didn't hit the man because he jumped out of the way.
I thought one was seen as well.
So there was another one. Yeah, I was going to say there was another one where on the opposite side came flying across and Saint hurdled him.
I love him.
Again, that is a dangerous tackle by the letter of the law.
Yeah.
But because he didn't touch the player, it doesn't even get mentioned or booked or anything like that.
Is the way the player goes on as well.
Oh God,
horrendous.
It was unreal. That was
Longstaff's leg is bent. It's coming in sideways, kicking across. Yeah. He kicks through the ball, so which then, of course, means his leg.
Shin, didn't he? Shin that wins the ball.
So he comes across like that. The player's here. He comes across, wins the ball, and then
he still travels
the momentum is going to be his leg's going to come across in front of him. It drops down, hits the ground, and then bounces back up and goes up the player's leg.
That's the problem, isn't it? And I'm not saying it's a red card, by the way. But
how can you not cut across a ball and then not end up where your leg's in front of you?
No,
it's ridiculous.
So
it's not one where he's going in straight into the player and hitting them like that, is it?
If you compare Hayden's and Longstaff, can you see why Hayden could look like the red card compared to Longstaff?
100%, yeah, 100%.
Because Longstaff was.
But again, I don't.
Was weak to send a player off for that.
Like Hayden's by the letter of the law.
It was a straight red.
It was ridiculous. But I knew straight away because he went straight to his pocket, and I said he's off.
It's Longstaff's
and
reaction.
it was ridiculous.
He doesn't even look up from the ground. He sat there. He doesn't even look then.
And he knows it's because he knows his foot's gone into the player's leg. But he hasn't.
It's his groin, like.
He hasn't gone. He hasn't fouled him. He's gone through the ball and then his legs end up there.
He didn't won the ball first.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I just think the problem was his groin, and that's high. It's much higher than Hayden's was. Much higher.
But that's because he's lying down, leaning them back, isn't it?
Because
the way
let's be honest.
It's momentum that takes him there.
That ball, isn't it?
That whole passage of play comes from a shocking decision by the linesman.
Yeah,
the corner. It's as clear as day.
The linesman is right there. He hasn't got a clue. He's looking.
A few things, by the way, that linesman in that game.
Absolutely horrendous, right? And all this talk about VAR, they're supposed to be looking at every decision, right? Every decision.
Well, how many times were we calling for VAR in that game and stuff like that?
So you mentioned it the other week, saying that VAR won't overturn a referee's decision. I think you're right in a certain way in regards to that red card and other things we've seen, like in mid-play. If it's a goal and it's clear offside, of course, they're going to change it. Your call.
Bastard, I had it. Sorry.
Mr. Miyagi.
But I think...
It's looking at it.
I was all for
it's not just us though. When you look at some of the other games that are happening, some of the decisions that are being given or not being given, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
So sorry to change that one. Now the Yedlin thing, I literally was standing there right when I went for a goal kick, and I'm thinking, right, so hold on a second. So the referee and linesman believe that he has run all the way, getting in and just kick it out.
Yeah,
that's what them things happened there. Are you for fucking real?
It was.
What the hell?
The direction of the ball. It goes on a right angle. It goes
there's no way on earth it could have possibly have been a goal.
Even if he's sliced that outside his foot,
are them thinking maybe that he's crossed it, it's hit the player, hit you, and then went out. Is that what?
No idea.
Because my first reaction was, you think he's went all the way in?
The only thing is that the linesman hasn't seen it. Was 100%. It was a corner.
I haven't seen it back, so I might be wrong. Yeah,
but the linesman can't give a decision. He's like, I don't know. So he's looking at the referee. The referee's going, well, I don't know where it went. You're standing there looking at it. So the benefit of the doubt is he's got to give it.
They don't do anything.
They don't do anything. They wait for the referee.
The linesman got.
Well, they don't even give offside decisions now because they allow VAR to do it.
Well, they're supposed to, but they don't.
I think that's the rule, but
yeah.
Just to comment, on the second half. It was frustrating to see we're really not come out the same team. Like we didn't come out now. Everyone's obviously having a go at Bruce, saying that he must have told them to sit on the line for the next half an hour.
I don't agree with that. Yeah,
absolutely.
No, well, Bruce has even came out and said it himself that he doesn't understand why the sat back.
Yeah, and I know people say, well, it's up to him to change it, but I'm sorry, but so in the first half, then did Bruce tell them to play that way? Like which
no, they decided to do it themselves.
So what did frustrate me was how long it took to change things.
Totally agree, but I said that last year, week after week after week after week when Rafa was here. We're watching games and
Rafa
nothing.
Really
it was terrible. Nothing was changing. We were playing terrible, or certainly average, and then he'd make a change 85 minutes.
The only thing is,
got all that wrong. Bruce got all that wrong on Sunday in terms of substitutions. No, I think if we had changed it earlier, we may not have conceded.
Well, even before the red card, we'll look like we're missing a player in the
coming all the time.
I don't know. I think when after they equalised, I thought we were absolutely battering them up until the sending off.
Listen, I'll agree with you there, but what I mean is from minute 46.
Yeah, and that was the change. They brought Traore out from out wide, stuck him straight through the middle, and that's what caused us massive problems. But what change can we make to stop that? You've already got 3 central defenders sitting there.
That's where you're struggling.
You've already got 2 central midfielders sitting in front of them. So what change can you make to nullify that attack other than somebody has got to pick him up constantly? So you've either got to say to one of your central defenders, you've got to man mark him, or you've got to say to Sean or Matty, you've got to stay with him and track him wherever he goes.
So going on to their goal,
because that was all they had in that second half. Every time they got it was that ball into him, and he was straight through the middle.
Well, in fairness, that's all Wolves have.
Yeah,
it's him. They have nobody else that can cause you a problem. Like.
So their goal obviously comes from the right, gets Hyde in. And Dubravka.
Well,
what?
I have to say, even before that happens, over on that left-hand side, we've got to do better.
Yeah.
And there's been different people saying different things about it. The original starts off, it's Willem's man that runs through, but Willems in his defence is out on the touchline, and there's 4 of our players in front of him. So yes, he doesn't go with him. But he's probably looking to say, hold on, there's 4 of my teammates there. I'm out here. I can't get in and go with him here. One of them's got to pick them up. And for me, that is where I then see fault, is because Sean Longstaff is standing there, watching him run at him, watches him run straight past him, makes no attempt to go with him or try and block him or anything like that.
Clark's as well.
Then, Clark's outside with the other man. St. Maximum is the next one there who's essentially in that left-back position. Just looks at them going straight past them. So them 2, for me, need to either block him, go with the run or something, and neither of them reacts at all.
So obviously the ball comes in, Dubravka, he just fingertips it straight to the
There's no need for him to do that, is there?
It's terrible.
Did you not know where he was in regards to position wise? Did you think he was a lot closer to his
I just thought he thinks he could come out and get it, but if he's going to come out like that, he's just got to come out and punch it.
I don't think he could have physically get a fist on it because his fingertips just touched it. I think
there's no need for him to come for it, is there?
Yeah, Lindsay?
Yeah, that's
there's no need. I don't know. But Dubravka, it's a shocker, mate. It's a shocker.
He just swats it down, doesn't he?
People were messaging me because I put it on saying, if it wasn't for that, we'll win the game.
Yeah.
And they were going, well, you can't blame Dubravka for that. Loads of people said that. I was like,
of course you can't.
I'm sorry, that's his fault.
Again, it's his error that puts the ball down where it is.
Yeah, it is.
However, as I say, I can point out a finger as well at Longstaff and
Well,
St.
of
Maximum
course, of
to
course.
say cut the ball
I
out. But
understand.
We've said this earlier. in
even
the
if that
season,
doesn't
but-
happen, if that ball comes across, if Dubravka doesn't do that, they're not
But
scoring.
we've seen this earlier in the season. I think with Shelby that just let. I think it was 2 games in a row.
It was Liverpool,
actually,
the Liverpool
where he just
game,
let
wasn't it?
the player run past him was similar to that.
Yeah.
It just standing.
But
there,
with
catching flies, really.
four players in front of them and that ball, surely we can stop that ball being played
So,
through between four of
When
them.
we concede, Lascelles is going wild. At Clark, is it Clark that he's screaming at?
I think he is.
Well,
yeah.
he's
direction,
screaming
isn't
at them, and it's because exactly what I'm saying. There's 4 players standing there with 2 of their players.
He was
You've
happy,
got to
and
stop.
we haven't
You've
seen
got
that
to
from
stop that
Lascelles for a
first
while.
ball or the ball being played through for that runner.
Clark was punching the ground in that, you know. Clark
Was
was,
he?
he was like on the ground punching the ground in that. He was going off it. And I think there was frustration on all accounts there.
We've
I think,
seen it
obviously,
through a
you
few
know.
players arguing with each other through. Obviously, we saw Joe
Saint
Linton
and Joe,
and
yeah.
Saint.
And it is. It's
Lascelles was arguing with the
it's
referee from the
frustration.
first couple of minutes, and I don't know why. He was constantly going up to the ref and having a chat with the ref.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
not
he
sure
was,
what
yeah,
happened early
yeah.
on in the game.
He wasn't happy with
Because
certain
every
things.
time the ball went out of play, he was going to the ref,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure why. It's something which we haven't seen.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's like other than
There was a few
having,
times in the first half where every time the ball, I think we kicked the ball out. I think one of their players was injured, and Lascelles is straight over to the referee
went down for
and
it.
biting his lug again.
Oh, was that when their player was down on the side?
Yeah, but Lascelles was doing it even before that.
That's something you've got, isn't it?
What have you got, you little weirdo?
He's got something in his pocket.
That's really freaking us out. What you
He's
got in your
got something in his
pocket?
pocket there.
What's me hand, you weirdo?
You've
What are you
got something
buzzing?
in your
You're going to
pocket.
scare him. I'm really shitting myself out.
He's going to try and
I'm really
scare
shitting
him.
myself out.
He's
Does
100%
anyone
got
think anything else to see before I go? I'm really scared.
This
Right.
right.
Make me hold, can I take it? Don't.
Substitutions.
Uh-huh. Can you hurry up?
So, don't worry, but it's not
I don't even know what's the matter with you.
You got something!
Don't do that.
Oh, look,
Where you going?
me
You got
keys.
something!
He's got something.
You're buzzing out something.
You've definitely got something on you though. I could hear it.
Shit in hell. His hands keep going down there as well.
It's me love eggs.
Oh, right, come on. Right, substitution.
Substitutions, right. So fair enough, he got sent off, rightly or wrongly.
Oh, dear.
He brung Shelby on for him. and
Oh,
obviously
God.
it's-
Please don't
well,
take
he had
it.
no one else. He had no one
Take
else.
us back to that.
So Gail wasn't like lying to come up, wasn't he? Gail
No.
was all
Well,
stripped down, ready to
and
go,
this
still
and this
set
was
it up.
this was the other thing. Like people were Slate and Bruce going on about, oh, it's ridiculous. We're taking forever to
Beat me now, man.
taking forever. Like, why not make changes and stuff like that? Blah de blah. This, that, and the other. Gail was standing there for 15 minutes waiting to come on the pitch, but because we were attacking so much and creating so many opportunities and getting forward, pushing on.
15 minutes?
10.
15
10.
minutes?
1.5
Nah,
minutes?
it was good. It was good. He was
Moving
standing.
decimal point.
He was up and down that touchline. He was standing there waiting. He got stripped for ages. He was up, back sitting, back down, back up because we kept creating stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a few issues I've got. A few, right?
But then we know what happened, which then meant that he couldn't come on.
I get that. So, brings on Shelby and we'll go like for like, really don't. Pretty
Yeah,
much. He comes
yeah.
on him. Means that we're really isolated up front. So we'll do what we're doing. Then 85 minutes he brings on Atsu and Gale, and basically leaves Shelby on his own in midfield. That's absolutely what's going on. So he's almost trying to win the game in the last 5 minutes. He brought on Atsu.
It was there for the
Gale.
taking though.
Nah. He brought on Atsu for Longstaff went off, so that only left one centre midfielder, probably the slowest, the laziest centre midfielder we've got to run centre midfield. Basically.
Yeah, but
I thought that was very dangerous.
But then the other two did, which is what we're talking about. They came in narrower. When Atsu came in, he wasn't playing out on the left, was he? He was playing more in the.
He got about
The left side of
I
midfield.
just thought that was risky at the time, and that wasn't the game.
There's one ball that Shelby done as well. I thought, Jesus Christ, we're back in the championship. Yeah, it was our top.
Nah, he tried
He was
to play
running
it
for the
over.
ball. I thought,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
this is
He
flashback.
said
It's like
something.
for that way, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, listen, I am disappointed that we didn't kick on in the second half because I think that's a game we should have won.
Yeah.
I really feel we should have.
It was there for the taking based on our first half performance.
Definitely was, yeah.
Were reaction after they scored
I
as
thought
well
it was all right,
deserved to come get more from it than that.
Did we have a shot the second half? Because I don't think we did, you know.
Can't remember.
I can't remember their goalkeeper touching the ball. Oh, wide though, yeah. Yeah. So didn't fair enough. Williams had a good shot again though, and this is I've said this before. Our player to score a goal, apart from the goal we did score, but normally has to like do an unbelievable passage of play. So beat loads of men like Saint were asking, and Williams has to cut in on his right foot. He's not his stronger foot from 30 yards out and have a shot. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's asking a lot to try and have an opportunity. And that's my biggest worry. And it always is my biggest worry with us. We didn't score goals and we're not getting. And that's my worry. Like, we had one shot the second half and it was from Williams on his weaker foot from 30 yards out. How are you, man? It's not good enough, is it?
That's why we need to get closer to a striker.
But I don't know.
Nobody knows. Bruce definitely doesn't know what to do now.
Well, the
In regards to formation, because I think we're struggling to see where certain players are supposed to be playing right now.
For me, it's absolutely bang on. You 3 centre halves, you know where they are.
So I think we're struggling. What sort of player is Joe Linton? What sort of player is Almiron?
Yeah, but that's
where I'm struggling.
Maybe, but
the link up players, them two are very, very similar. If you play them either side of each other with somebody up in front of them, I think you'd see a totally different team. But
it's not Bruce's
that
fault
leaves
that he's not a target man.
that leaves St Maximum not in the team.
Whoever bought him one shot. So someone has bought him.
Called Mike Ashley.
Bollocks. There's people going to Mike Ashley, your Nixons of the world, your Charlies of the world. No, Ashley doesn't know how he is, man. And I paid the money, but that's bollocks. That it's the people that have scouted him and said, "Tell you what it is, he'll make a target man in the Premier League." That's the problem. I don't blame Bruce for that. It's not Bruce's fault. He already signed before he even got there anyway.
There's no way on earth that the scouts have said, "Bring him in and play him as a target man," because that is not his.
Well, you tell me what have they done then?
That is not his role at all.
No, what we should have done, like I said the other week, kept Rondon, had Joe Linton on there as well. Play them together.
Well, you know why Rafa was so pissed off and why he's gone, because he knew if he couldn't get him and he was going to be the replacement, well, we're not going to score a goal.
Joe Linton should have been Perez's replacement. That's
Pretty much. 100%.
I think Saint's kind of his replacement. Almiron is maybe long term. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, because St Maximum is a winger.
Yeah, he is.
St Maximum is a winger. We don't play in a formation that allows us to have a winger,
but again,
because we're not playing 4-4-2 or 4-2-4 or anything like that. We're not playing where can have him out on the left wing, run up and sling crosses into the box. Yet we're trying to play him in the team as that role, where we haven't got somebody up front that can get in the box and get the head on the end of it.
What, I mean, Joe?
Right, I'm in there because we're just going to go on and on. Yeah, and I'm really scared what he's going to do.
I'm not going to do anything.
You've got something in there. You've got something in your pocket. You're really stressed out. Right, thanks to Guillermo Clothing, thanks to Johnny Kris for sponsoring the podcast. You do get a code on the website if you use the ADSM pod. Right, bye! What are you doing? What have you got?
Literally, it's my keys.
It's not